Well, hello to all you miniatures lovers out there on the interwebs. I'm Doc Young. Today is Monday, the 7th of February, 2022, and I'm here to ramble about my miniatures painting. And we're starting out with some finished ones this week. Last week was an aberration. We're getting back on track. And we have a selection of stuff. Stuff in the back here is from the Brinewind expansion to the Bones 5 Kickstarter. So we have the Shark and the Shark Butcher. This dude with a big machete or something. We have the Sail Maker. The lady's sewing a sail here, sitting on a barrel. And we have a couple of shrines to various sea deities. Now I painted these to look like stone, but maybe the differences in color don't come across. It looks a bit muted here on my camera viewfinder, but the idea was these should be painted statues but weathered. So it's the idea is that it's basically stone. Somebody has painted it, and then it's been all sort of kind of hit by the elements. So it looks, the paint should look a bit faded, and not all that bright. Well, you be the judge if it works or not. I don't know. It was an experiment. It was just an idea. Then we had a couple of random bones minis. We have this monk with the two what are they called? Well, farming implements. And we have a little gnome wizard or something. This is a really old. Both these are really old bones. Not much detail to them. Fuzzy detail. Then we have the old lady with the apple, which I painted dark. I mean, okay. So if this is supposed to be the evil queen from Snow White, then she's dressed all in black. What I did was paint her not in actual black, but several very dark colors that might sort of blend together and just look kind of indistinctly black or gray. But there's actually some blue and some green and different shades of gray in there. And this is a metal mini, the only one this week. Everything else was plastic, everything else is bones of one form or another. So, 8 minis this week is what I got done. That's okay. Moving on. Well, this little bad batch is currently on my work table. We have some here in a row in the front. I'm not. This is a sort of artificial. I've lined them up for this filming. They're not actually all sitting on the cutting mat when I'm working on them like this. I suppose you guessed that. Anyway, the ones in the front row are the ones that I have put some paint on. The ones in the back are just primer. Or are they? No, there's actually some undercoats of paint on this cannon. Yeah, I did do that. But otherwise, these guys are, as you can see, just a zenithal priming job. And, yeah, not a lot to say about them, really. They're coming along. Some of them will be done by next week, I presume. Maybe quite a lot of them. We'll see. These, on the other hand, are not very far along. I've simply cleaned them and started putting them on bases. I went, in this case, even though some of them had fairly solid integral bases, I put them on plastic bases anyway. It's, I don't seem to have any fixed process for this. I just go on a case-by-case basis. And as you can see, there's some bits to attach still to some of them. This one has an option. Well, it has 2 arms that have to be glued on. That's not an option. She needs her arms. But there's an optional hat, and I'm thinking of leaving that off because honestly, I have a lot of figures with hats, and well, mostly it's that I like painting hair more than I like painting hats. So it's just personal preference, and this sword goes with this figure, I think. Yes, and this spear goes with this big lady here. Yeah, they'll be fully assembled and primed by next week, at least. Maybe some base coats. We'll see. Well, looky here. It's another package from Reaper. This one was heavily delayed, but it finally arrived. This is my order from October, which is the reason it contains the ghoulie bag containing a sort of Halloween-themed mini, a couple of paints, and some candy. So, yeah. And in fact, most of the rest of the stuff that I got was intended for a Halloween theme, or perhaps an Easter theme, like the witch coven with a cauldron, so 3 witches and a cauldron, or the gravestone Sophie, which is Sophie the succubus sitting on a gravestone, the provocative Sophie. I don't know if that was a... But she also has a gravestone. That's... I don't know. I don't think she was called Provocative Sophie in the catalog on the web page. She's called something else. But, oh well. Another witch. Raza Twinsight from the Hell Runners. Clearly a voodoo practitioner with a little doll. The Invisible Man. To finish up the theme, I've already painted classic movie monsters. I painted the Wolfman, Dracula, and Frankenstein's monster from this range, but I didn't have the Invisible Man. So that's also a kind of a spooky horror theme, I suppose. And then the Valentine's Day Mouseling is not... Actually, it's a different holiday. It's Valentine's Day themed, not Halloween. And finally, there were the bonus minis. There was the bonus mini that everyone got that month. Berg Ironthorn, a dwarf in Bones USA material, who's got some sort of cross... It looks like a harpoon gun, but the crossbar, the bow for the crossbow is actually a separate piece that you glue on. And then I had a choice of different bonus minis, and I chose the Wall of Fire. Because I thought that might come in handy, be a useful thing. So, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to open the ghoulie bag and eat the candy, and then put all this holiday stuff away. I'm going to add the Wall of Fire and the dwarf to my painting queue. Maybe I'm not sure, because Valentine's is next week. I would have to prep and paint this guy in 7 days to get him ready for Valentine's. But I suppose maybe I can do that, because as you can see, it's a very simple mini. It's just a question of how much detail I want to go into. I'll think about it. Let's say that. And yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to, as I said, put this away for next Halloween, because I think I finished everything I had that was Halloween themed, that was horror themed. Well, not everything horror themed. I have lots of undead stuff, but everything that was clearly Halloween themed that I had in stock, I painted this last October, I think, if I recall correctly. We'll have to see when I dig through my pile of unfinished minis. But anyway, this stuff will definitely be saved for that then. Or maybe the witches, maybe I'll do those at Easter, because I don't know if it's the case in other countries, but in Sweden, as I've mentioned before, Easter is associated with witches in Scandinavian folklore. So I might paint these this Easter and save the Sophies and the Visible Man for October this year. So that was another action-packed episode. I hope you stayed this long. If you did, why not give me a thumbs up and comment and subscribe? And above all, be back here a week from today, same day of the week, same channel, same Dakian, who's now signing off.